Our top story this hour: Iran says the United States and Israel are obstructing the complete elimination of chemical weapons in the world. Addressing a UN Security Council session, Iran's deputy permanent representative to the UN expressed deep concern about the US non-compliance with the Chemical Weapons Convention. Zahra Irshadi stressed that the US is the only member state of the convention which still possesses chemical weapons. She added that Israel must be forced to join the Arms Control Treaty immediately and without any preconditions. The convention bans the use, production, and stockpiling of chemical arms. The Iranian envoy further highlighted Syria's commitment to destroy its chemical stockpile. She said the UN Security Council's monthly sessions over Syria have no justification when the convention's implementing body has approved the elimination of Syrian weapons. Joining us is PJason Unruhe, political commentator from Niagara Falls. Jason, welcome. So why is the OPCW not inspecting the United States and Israel's chemical and biological weapons program when they are both shrouded in so much secrecy?
Well, initially, off the top of my head, I'd say because it's not necessary, because everybody knows they already have those weapons. But in truth, the reason is the OPCW has become a very politicized organization. Now, it started with the noble goal of trying to control really terrible chemical weapons, which is certainly a noble pursuit. The problem is that these become regulatory bodies, and regulatory bodies become the victims of political maneuvering. As we've seen with this situation, we saw the OPCW have 4 of its scientists who did investigations, that did the final report on weapons, alleged chemical weapons inside of Syria, and they all came forward saying that it did not match their findings on the ground. It did not match their analysis. So I think that very clearly the reason the OPCW does not investigate Israel or the United States is frankly because if you try to investigate them, the United States would punish them for doing so. We do recall when the International Human Rights Court wanted to investigate the way the United States treats its prisoners. They slap sanctions on individuals who may serve as the judge. We've had Israel threaten them on more than one occasion that they would retaliate if they investigated them for the constant crimes against humanity that they actually commit. So it's very clear that this double standard exists. The reason the OPCW does not carry out these investigations is simply because the one with the largest guns will not let them.
So politicized and double standards. What you say? What kind of double standards is this, Jason? When some countries are under the most robust inspections regime in the world, and you got Israel reluctant to allow a single inspector to check the stockpile of weapons of mass destructions that it possesses?
Well, yeah, that's essentially the point here. It's all about Israel maintaining its quickly thinning veneer of rational statehood when they are not only are continuing to carry out a decades-long genocide against Palestinians, but they have been criticized for using white phosphorus, which is considered a chemical weapon, and have done so very openly with no shame whatsoever. They also have a nuclear weapons program. It's, of course, alleged. It's not 100% proven, but pretty much everybody could agree that there is a nuclear weapons program inside of Israel which receives no oversight whatsoever from any regulatory bodies, let alone anything like the JPCOA. That's the reality of the situation that we face. This double standard is essentially allowing those who are either the imperialist countries or the settler colonial imperialist countries, giving them a free hand to do essentially whatever it is that they want and commit whatever crimes they want and receive as little oversight as possible.
Jason, thank you for your thoughts and your contribution. PJason Unruhe, the political commentator, joining us live out of the Niagara Falls.